Hello everyone, welcome to another video in this revision series. In this video, we'll look for heart sound. Heart sounds are sound produced due to the activities inside heart. And for production of every heart sound, there are valvular causes along with some contribution of vascular and muscular activities. Often we are concerned with the valvular cause only, but the vascular and muscular cause should also be considered. There are four heart sounds are depicted as S1, S2, S3 and S4. In normal individual, only S1 and S2 are auscultated. For the cause of S1, it is found that closure of atrioventricular valves, that is the mitral and tricuspid valve, are the main cause. And if we want to relate this S1 with the activities of cardiac cycle, S1 is mainly found at the onset of ventricular systole, and with relation to ECG tracing, it is found at the peak of R wave. And we know that usually the electrical activity precedes the mechanical activity. So when atrioventricular valve closes, it actually initiates ventricular systole. So at the peak of R wave, S1 is found. That means already the electrical activity for ventricular depolarization occurs and it is followed by ventricular systole activity. Anyhow, as like S1, second heart sound is due to the closure of the semilunar valves, that is the aortic or pulmonary valves, and it is found at the end of the ventricular diastole, and in ECG tracing it is found at the end of the T wave. Similarly, S3 and S4, these are mainly due to the vascular activities, and first rapid filling is the main cause and second rapid filling is the main cause of fourth heart sound. S3 is so found in the initial phase of ventricular systole and S4 is found in the terminal phase of the ventricular systole. In that ECG tracing, S3 is found in the TP segment and S4 is found in the PR interval. Now one by one the characteristics of heart sounds. For first heart sound, it coincides with the carotid artery pulse. That is, when one tries to auscultate heart sounds of an individual, one should always palpate the carotid artery, and S1 is found to coincide with carotid artery pulse. The sound character is like it is of lower frequency and longer duration compared to S2. Mainly in normal individual, S1 and S2 are auscultated. It is heard best on the mitral and tricuspid area because it is caused due to closure of these valves, mitral and tricuspid valves, and in normal practice it is represented as lump. Sometimes loud S1 is found, and this loud S1 may be found in mitral stenosis. It is because there is high pressure gradient between atria and ventricular and causes wide separation of atrioventricular valve cusp and thereby greater excursion during valve closure. This causes loud S1. It may also be found in hyperkinetic circulatory status like severe anemia or high fever. Similarly, sometimes muffled S1 is found in mitral regurgitation because there is lesser pressure gradient between the atria and ventricle and thereby lesser separation of the AV valve and lesser excursion during the valve closure. So this is all about S1. Now S2 is important. It does not coincide with carotid artery pulse like S1, and the sound is of higher frequency and shorter duration, unlike S1 is lower frequency and longer duration. It is heard best over the pulmonary and aortic area because it is caused due to the closure of these valves, and it is represented as doop, because it is higher frequency, shorter duration. So the sound is like doop. There is a physiological splitting of S2. One due to the aortic valve closure, and it is represented as A2, which is slightly earlier than the pulmonary valve closure, that is P2. And this is found normally in physiological condition. The split becomes prominent with deep inspiration. We'll look this later. Sometimes loud A2 are found in systemic hypertension, and loud P2 are found in severe pulmonary hypertension. And this is all about the pressure gradient, as we have already discussed in case of S1. Muffled A2 is found in atrial regurgitation or sometimes atrial stenosis, and muffled P2 is found in pulmonary regurgitation. There is actually no scope of detailed discussion of these cases in a short video. We will discuss this in later video. Here is a cause of prominent A2 and P2 gap during inspiration. Deep inspiration causes reduced intrathoracic pressure, and this causes pooling of blood in pulmonary vasculature. As a result, there is reduced venous return in the left side, left ventricular volume is decreased, and aortic valve closes early. So there is left shifting of the A2. Similarly, due to lower intrathoracic pressure, there is increased venous return of the right side from lungs easily via vein blood enters the right side, and increased right ventricular volume, and there is delay in the closure of the pulmonary valve. So P2 is shifted right side, and due to this opposite sided shifting, the splitting widens. So this is the reason that in deep inspiration A2-P2 gap widens. Sometimes there is reversal of split, that is P2 earlier than A2, and it is found in aortic stenosis, left ventricular bundle block, or severe left ventricular failure. And it can be analyzed by that in deep inspiration, in this reversal of split, the split is decreased instead of increasing. So this is a reversal of split. If during inspiration A2 and P2 gradually shift in left side or right side, the split will shorten, and this proves that there is reversal of split and the underlying cause should be searched for. There is gallop rhythm. It is due to presence of third and fourth heart sound with tachycardia. S3 gallop is S1, S2 plus S3, which is also called protodiastolic gallop. S4 gallop is S1, S2 plus S4, and it's called pre-systolic gallop. There are summation gallop, combination of all these heart sound, and these gallop rhythm are mainly found in heart failure. So if we find gallop rhythm, we'll also suspect heart failure. Thank you guys for watching. This is a very basic idea about heart sound.